Hi, my name is Kelly Hansen, and this is my social media PowerPoint. In recent years, there's been an increase in social media usage in people of all ages, with higher levels in children and teenagers. This is partially due to COVID, which forced people to interact more online since we couldn't physically be together. However, these habits that we formed never really went away. We are still interacting more and more online, and many people got used to the less physical social interaction. Social media usage is even more recently common in younger children, which is scary for many other reasons than just cognitive development, such as online safety and behavioral problems. There is a lack of research on how social media specifically impacts these young children, since most research focuses on teenagers and adults. Research in the future should focus on how we can change the social media habits of children and young adults so that it somewhat benefits their cognitive development rather than just researching how social media is currently affecting them now. Social media is not going anywhere, and it will continue to have more of an impact on cognitive development. One of the most common reasons why social media is a leading contributor to young people's high screen time is that it is a way to escape whatever problems they have in their lives. One of the research articles that I read for this assignment focused on escapism and how social media is increasingly being used as an unhealthy coping mechanism. This is seen at higher levels in individuals with higher trait neuroticism, which means that they tend to feel lots of anxiety, sadness, and other negative feelings. Social media can increase these feelings, and when it's used as a coping mechanism, it can be detrimental to mental health. Negative content can make already bad feelings worse and can also lead to negative self-image. And a dependency on social media can cause addiction. It makes young people less likely to seek out other healthier coping mechanisms. Using social media as an escape leads to young people spending hours on different apps. This can impact their physical health through poor sleep habits and a lack of physical activity. So how does this relate to cognitive development? As they develop, children develop problem-solving skills, which include ways to decompress when stressed and other coping mechanism habits. When children get into the bad habit of relying on social media to make them feel better, when they face problems or when they are stressed, they are negatively affecting their problem-solving skills, their emotional regulation, and their thought process when it comes to coping with negative emotions. Social media's biggest and most impactful negative effect on cognitive development has to be its impact on attention. Short-form video content, such as the short videos that are found on TikTok and Instagram, even YouTube Shorts, allows for children to watch lots of content in a short period of time. Heavy use of these short-form video platforms is linked to poorer attention and even reduced electrophysiological activity compared to those who do not watch this type of content as much. Young people become desensitized to slower content like reading or other hobbies because these short videos provide instant gratification. This leads to shorter attention spans. These short videos are often funny or considered to be rewarding, which leads to children wanting instant gratification that they find here in other aspects of life, negatively impacting their appropriate cognitive development skills regarding attention. Social media usage also affects the cognitive development skills related to memory. We can only remember so much in a short period of time, and there's an overwhelming amount of content being thrown at you and stimuli that is being taken in when using social media, especially those short-form video content platforms. It becomes difficult to determine what is important enough to remember. This negative impact on memory is related to the impact that social media has on attention spans. False information may also be stored in memory, which means that young people are storing memories that should not exist. This causes a lower ability to differentiate between real and fake information. Children and young people are showing a lower cognitive ability to judge whether information is false on social media, which can impact other parts of life. With the increase of artificial intelligence content, this is becoming a much bigger issue. I used to have a very poor relationship with social media. I used it as a coping mechanism when life was difficult or if I was stressed. I still do this sometimes, but I have found better coping mechanisms. I definitely think that social media has impacted my cognitive development because I used it a lot as a young teenager and in my 20s. For a while, social media definitely had an impact on my attention abilities. I was multitasking a lot by completing tasks and watching videos on social media at the same time. We learned in the textbook that multitasking takes necessary attention away from other tasks that require our full attention, leading to avoiding these tasks altogether to spend time on social media, or poorly executing them due to using social media at the same time. I used to be less likely to do other hobbies such as reading books or something that is more slow because I would have rather had the instant gratification from using social media. I've really tried to be aware of how social media impacts me cognitively, and I feel that I've done a much better job at consciously trying to avoid harming my attention, emotional regulation skills, and my memory by using social media in negative ways.